all those things coalesce at the fact that we need to drive innovation, transformation at scale for health systems. And the human organic model doesn't work, especially when I know something needs to happen. Like, I really want to push, and I would love things to have moved faster.
As we age, I begin to appreciate that there's a time and a place for things, and that things are done in the way they're meant to. They unfold as they're meant to unfold. Hi, I'm Malak Fuad, and welcome to What I Did Next Encore, one of our new segments where we check in with some of your favorite alumni guests. Today, I'm reconnecting with Dr. Nadine Hachach-Haram. When she and I first spoke 3 years ago, Nadine's aim was to try and redefine how operating rooms can function more effectively with her startup, Proximy.
Well, since we last talked, a lot has happened. And it's incredible, when we last spoke a number of years ago, the category was still pretty nascent. You could argue that we were creating the category, annealing the market, as they say. And this concept of digitally connected operating rooms was still a bit of that's kind of interesting in 5 years. But I'm pleased to say, we have cemented that category now. And in that period of time, we've more than quadrupled our business. We've more than 5x'd our footprint across hospitals around the world. And we have a number of big health medical device companies that are now taking our software and embedding it into their devices. So this is truly becoming the operating system for operating rooms. And we have so many partners deploying our technology in a really meaningful and scalable way.
That's amazing, Nadine. Are you considered the gold standard now in this field?
I mean, I tend to try to be humble about these things, but I guess you've asked me directly, so I will answer. And absolutely, yes, we've become the gold standard.
That's amazing.
We are the end-to-end platform. We come at it both at a platform layer and an application layer. So under the hood, everything is standardized, and we don't roll up any third-party software. So it's all our stack, which is why systems and partners love it, because they're more confident around the architecture, the security, etc. But then the application layer, we have many new applications. So when we first met, we were doing more the telepresence, the remote working together. Well, since then, we've added a lot of intelligence in AI. So we're able to aggregate lots of different data in operating rooms. We are truly the end-to-end. And I think because of that credibility, the robustness, the technology, but also our approach to the market, we've pulled a lot of credibility and gold standard approach.
I'm so happy to hear this, because I know how much work you've put into this, and how it began, as a labor of love, and you saw a gap in this market. And it's really impressive how it's just, grown, as you said, 5x. How do you feel? How does it make you feel?
When you start, sometimes, ignorance is bliss, right? You don't know what you don't know. When I started this, and you might remember, I wasn't looking to set up a company. I mean, it was a bit sort of serendipitous that I sort of landed in that place. I was really just trying to solve this really frustrating problem that I was seeing as a surgeon every single day in operating rooms. And I was believing in a world where this interlock of technology and healthcare was going to become more cemented. Back then, really, when we talked about technology, it was sort of back office tech. It was like your billing software, your ERP, your medical record. It wasn't really interlocked with your working day-to-day business of delivering care. And there's so many times I could have given up, honestly. It is, I was laughing with my team yesterday. I was like, look, if you thought the last 8 years are a roller coaster, think about the next 5, because it's on fire now. We're getting so much demand, and how we keep up and how we address the need is a big thing. And they all started laughing at me, saying it's always up and down. And it is true. And I think you have to manage that emotion all the time, which is difficult.
When we spoke 3 years ago, you were still juggling surgery with this new business. What is that ratio like now? Are you still doing operations, or is this really the focus of your energy?
I think I've added a few more jobs.
You're kidding. You're kidding, Nadine. Did you have the bandwidth for that?
I mean, I guess I could sleep a bit more. I don't know. So
Wow.
I still operate.
Okay.
Actually, on Friday, I did a kind of a great day in the OR.
So
great.
how do you divide it up? I mean, do you have 1 day of operating and then 3-4 days at the office? Or how does it work?
I mean, every week is different. But
Okay.
generally, I would say I do about an operating list a week. And I do about 3 clinics a month in the NHS, or where I deliver
Yes.
the reconstructive surgery.
When you say you have an operating list, what does that mean? Like one day of operating?
All day operating on
Oh,
patients.
I see. Okay.
So
Okay.
it could be 6, 8 patients that day.
Right.
I'm also a clinician as part of a longevity. It's called Founders Health. And what we do is really, honestly, it stems from my experience as a founder.
That's a new addition to
It's a
your
new addition to
portfolio.
what I'm doing, yes.
Interesting. What is that?
So that was a thinking that, as we're all high performance individuals. I mean, it's called Founders Health, but it's really anyone who's a high performance individual, whether you're an investor, an entrepreneur, a business person, juggling life in general, just with all the things that happen. How do we maintain a quality of life that can sustain us in these high stress environments? And so it really was a combination of how do you bring in the functional health and longevity bit with the aesthetics and regenerative piece together. Now, my background is more aesthetics regenerative. Your functional health's come in with more the longevity and the supplements. But there is an intersection of both, because we do want to feel better, but we want to look good too while we're in the journey.
This is
So there's
such a
that bit, and I
huge
provide
this is so huge right now, isn't it? I
it
mean,
is.
everyone's trying to get into this, whether as a consumer, whether if you're into that part of if you're into that business world, then yes. But I mean, I can give you like at least a list of 100 people who want to sign up tomorrow morning for that.
Well, they should. So I'm one of the doctors in that, and definitely it's something that I personally wanted for me, because again, going back to my very busy life, I'm doing that. I'm the head of innovation of the largest health system in the UK. So driving transformation and adoption of technology at scale across Southeast London at Guy's and St Thomas's Hospital, and then running my company, and finally running the only NHS venture fund. It's a 50 million fund, and we invest in early stage tech companies that can be adopted in health systems.
And that's a new initiative, Nadine, the
The fund's been going
NHS.
for 2 years. The
And you
director of
joined at the
innovation,
beginning of that?
I founded it, yeah,
Oh,
so I
you
was part of
founded
it.
it. Okay.
Mm. And then I run innovation for my hospital. I'm doing that for 5 years. And what you see across that is it's that intersection. All those things coalesce at the fact that we need to drive innovation, transformation at scale for health systems, for care delivery, for democratization, and the human organic model doesn't work.
What do you mean by that?
Just having doctors and nurses and health systems and bricks and mortar is not going to help us scale with the supply demand gap that we have. So even if you think about surgery today, 5 billion people in the world lack access to safe surgery. If you look at health systems and waiting lists, they are longer than your arm, at least in a lot of the Western
Well, this is
countries.
exactly what I wanted to ask you, actually. A country like the UK has an aging population, a welfare system that is cracking at the seams. So, with this kind of tech innovation, obviously that will mitigate against a lot of these issues, right?
Correct. And I'll talk to you about with proximity today. So if you think about hospitals today, operating rooms are probably one of the most expensive assets for a hospital. When you factor in the real estate, the staffing, which are highly skilled staff, the equipment, all the fancy robots, video towers, devices, machines, consumables, etc., it's a huge cost. And all of that is also a massive revenue center for hospitals. Because if you remember during COVID, a lot of hospitals fell over because they were no longer generating the surgery income because all surgery had stopped.
Sure.
And this is an environment where because surgery is an apprenticeship really, is where we have to accelerate the adoption of new techniques and skills across doctors. So what happens when that environment is manual and analog? It becomes inefficient, and we'll talk about some metrics. There is high variability, which was why today we know if you turn up to one hospital, you can have a different experience to another. And it becomes hard to codify and aggregate all this rich data that no one is actually collecting.
And you don't get the learnings from it.
Nothing. You get a little up note at the end.
Sure.
So today, the status quo is operating room utilization is sitting around 65, 70%. Okay.
Mhm.
You have variability in clinical care. You have patients getting best in class latest treatment and others getting B standard treatment. And you have an industry of device manufacturers that are pumping new products every month. How are we going to adopt all of this at scale? So now Proximy arrives. Proximy sits in the room. It enables you to train twice as many doctors and nurses in half the time. At a very simple level, we can add an extra case per day. So think about our thoracic surgeon at my hospital who's now moved from doing 3 cases a day to 4 to 5 cases a day. That's 300 more operations per year.
Explain that to me, Nadine, again. How is it that he's able to do more operations?
Because today, when your utilization is 65%,
Yeah.
you need to understand, what do I need to do to move that delta? And today, what's happening is everything is manual. So during the day, the nurse will walk over to the computer and type case started, case finished, call next patient. She'll pick up the phone, or he'll pick up the phone and call recovery and say, is the bed ready? Oh, no, it's not ready. Wait 10 minutes. It's all manual. Now Proximie comes in, and through our AI technology, and we'll share some videos of this, with computer vision and with AI and our own models, we detect all of this ambiently. So immediately you remove all the subjectivity. Automatically, the sensors detect when the patient came in, when the case started, when it finished, and when the patient left, and is alerting all the different components as well as the records, what's happening.
And this is AI generated?
All AI generated.
So there's a human factor above all that, making sure that it's operating correctly?
We train our models, and then the models are doing it automatically, ambiently.
And you've had 100% success with that?
We've had great success with our early sites. And as I said, with one hospital we're working with today, we showed we could add 1 to 2 extra cases per list. And in another hospital in the US, we showed we could increase the opportunity of efficiency for up to 25%. And
Wow.
that equates to many more patients getting done. At the same time, you don't need the workforce to enter that data. So you're reducing burden on the workforce. You have objective data because it's the same point, right? It's not subjective when they went to the computer, when they clicked, etc. And now you're able to also automate the orchestration and workflow. So you're not now waiting for someone to pick up the phone, and often it's late because you're running 5 different things. In real time, it's telling the pre-op, get the next one ready. It's telling recovery, this is coming, and it's all being orchestrated with AI.
And are the same number of people involved in this assembly line approach?
Actually, one of the hospitals we work with are reducing the need for people, or reducing the burden, because what happens is that same nurse that's running around trying to get all the equipment is also doing that. And today, healthcare workers spend about 30% of their time documenting.
Yeah.
So now we're helping both on the education, like how do we accelerate skills? We're helping on automation and efficiency. We're also deploying AI models that are digging into the case itself and understanding where you are in the steps of the procedure. So we're building towards your OR co-pilot in the room, where now you have an intelligence system around you in the room that is helping drive and accelerate quality care to all.
When you started this business, did you anticipate what of a game changer AI would be for you? Or did you just build it and then AI came?
It's a great question. I think what I always knew, and I go back to my pitch decks from 20 and 21, I knew that we couldn't go to a health intelligence economy around the work that we do immediately, because the market wasn't ready. You had to work through these components.
The tech wasn't there either.
The tech wasn't there. Like, yes, I could collect the data, but how do I deploy real-time insights that are giving me that input I need now?
Yep.
Because look, everyone can give you a nice PowerPoint 2 months after the fact, but like the time passed. I want something now in real time.
Sure.
And so what I did, I remember my deck had 4 blocks. It said, we're going to start with connecting experts to share best practices. We're then going to create communities of practice, people working together. We're then going to create like a data architecture and layer where we can start to aggregate multimodal data, imaging data, device data, medical record data, sensor data, and stitch this together, because no one is collecting this data simultaneously. And then 4, the final block was, we're going to build a health intelligence economy where this intelligence is going to influence everything that we do around the perioperative journey. So that was the vision. But the tech wasn't there, so we started building out, nor was the buy-in in the market. Now today, we're in over 500 hospitals. We have over 100 terabytes of surgical data. We have the biggest data set in the world. We're working with the biggest players, AWS, NVIDIA, you name it. We are partnering with them at a deep, deep strategic level, looking at foundational model development, core technology capabilities, but more importantly, partnering very, very closely with our customers, saying, okay, what other problems can we solve for you with this? And I cannot tell you, Malak, like every time I go sit with health system leadership, they're like, I need this yesterday. Like, and can you do the next 3 things? And can you tell me about my instruments? And it's like, great, I can give you 50, 60% of what you need today. And we're going to build together the remaining 40%. And it's been so exciting.
When we chatted 3 years ago, a lot of your work with Proximy was to do with emergency operating rooms around the world, connecting people that way. Is that still a big part of the business, or are you more focused on the UK now?
Actually, we scaled to the US a number of years ago. The US is our biggest market today. So we do quite a lot in the US. I'd say 60% of our business is actually stateside.
But that's a very different way of working for you, because you're dealing with private hospitals one-on-one. You're trying to get buy-in with private entities. In the UK, if you're in the NHS, you're working across several hospitals. Presumably, if you can upsell one, then you can upsell others, presumably, right?
Interestingly, that's the misconception. I think we all believe that it's the NHS single buyer. It's actually not.
It's not, Okay.
It's just hundreds of hospitals that operate quite independently under an umbrella of the NHS.
I see. Okay.
And so it's the same. And actually, interestingly, in the UK, like the largest system will have like 5 hospitals in it. Maybe
Okay.
6.
Okay.
In the in the US, you go to a hospital system that will have like 120 hospitals underneath it. So when you go enterprise-wide, like an Atrium, Advocate Atrium, Ascension, HCA, these have hundreds of hospitals.
Right.
And so when you go at an enterprise level, then you can dig in. So a number of our partners actually work across numerous hospitals, like Orlando Health, like Advent in Florida. And so on the contrary, actually, we scale faster there. But I have to say, we've been doing incredibly well this year with the UK as well.
What are the other markets you're looking at? Are you going to look at other?
We do the Middle East.
Oh, you do?
I mean, obviously in the Middle East, I'm very passionate about. We have a team based there in Beirut. We have a number of employees there.
I think the Middle East is an amazing market because you'll be leapfrogging, right? I mean, that's the golden goose kind of thing, right? The golden thing.
So we're doing a lot of interesting work in Saudi Arabia. In the UAE, we're about to close with a very exciting health system partner. They've been incredibly impressive with how innovative they are, and hopefully we can name them when we sign. But these are really guys and women and men who are trying to completely transform the way that they're. And I agree on the leapfrogging because they don't have the legacy bureaucracy, right?
Exactly. In a way, it's almost easier.
It's easier. Decisions are made faster. I think where you have to think about it with the Middle East, like who is the right partner? Who is signing it not for the press release, but actually because they want to deploy this?
But I also think that, a country like Egypt, for example, health tourism is becoming a thing. So if they can, standardize and modernize with this kind of innovation, then it would be an amazing addition to the infrastructure. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, I'll give you one example we're doing, which is great. And Qatar have been a great partners to us. We've done quite a lot in Qatar. And one example is the View Hospital, which is in Qatar, which is partnered with Cedars-Sinai, which, as you know, is like the number 2 hospital. It's an incredibly well-guarded hospital. And so now you have the View connecting with Cedars in LA and sharing that expertise across. Not to say, I mean, there are some phenomenal doctors in Qatar, many of them my friends.
Yeah.
But now how are you triangulating all of that expertise? Because sharing our learnings and expertise as peers is something we do all the time anyway. I mean, there are numerous times I picked up the phone to a colleague and said, I'd love your opinion on this case. And so now we're enabling that at scale, and we're enabling that in a very seamless way. Even regionally, like we do cases between Riyadh, Jeddah, or, Dubai.
It's so important, Nadine, as well, to give each of these countries ownership on their health care systems.
Exactly.
And they have the money with which to implement this. So
correct.
It just
and
seems
we'd love
like
to do stuff in Egypt. I mean, Egypt is so ripe because it's such a huge population.
It's a huge market, absolutely.
Huge. And healthcare is a big, I mean, I have a number of Egyptian colleagues who work with me here in the UK, like lots of opportunity there.
Absolutely. Did you know that What I Did Next has had more than 2 million views and listens this year alone? Over the past 5 years, we've reached people across the Middle East and beyond who've come in to listen to more than 100 episodes with incredible stories from the best and the brightest our region has to offer. If you're a regional company wanting to reach this engaged, cultured, and curious audience, come on board and partner with us. You'll find details in our episode description. Looking back at the last couple of years, what do you think your biggest achievement's been?
Well, I mean, first that I got 2 kids to college, but that's a whole other thing.
2, huh? Yeah, I've got my second one heading out at the end of this year. Yeah, well done.
Thank you. It's when you're juggling quite a busy career and trying to raise the kids, I know I sort of laughed a bit about it, but I'm
It's
sure it's
hard.
something a lot of entrepreneurs and business leaders are grappling with, like, how do you juggle
Yeah,
those things? And I think that takes me to the second achievement I think I made over the last few years. I mean, yes, I could sit and applaud the business and all that, but really I think it was building an incredible team around me. And
yeah.
the last few years, I built an amazing leadership team around me that have really helped me, one, elevate what I'm doing in terms of being able to then spend my time with senior leadership around the world while they're able to sort
Run
of
the
work through the
business.
day to day.
How big is the company now?
We're close to 100, but
Wow.
we're on a big hiring spree now, so we'll see what that number is.
Interesting.
It's
That's
been good,
impressive. It's
alhamdulillah,
really impressive. And what
alhamdulillah.
about the biggest challenge over the last few years?
Look, as an individual, I tend to be known to be quite impatient. Like, I really, especially when I know something needs to happen, like, I really wanna push, and I would love things to have moved faster,
Hmm.
but I think it's just healthcare is complex, right? It's
Yeah.
multi-dimensional, it's complicated, it's lots of
Well, you
stakeholders.
also need to get it right, Nadine. I mean, you can't
Yes,
force this stuff. I mean, if you
right.
get it wrong, then you've got life and death on your
And
hands.
we've been very picky about this thing, about making sure when we're launching product
Yeah.
that it's not like launching an app for, like, I don't know, shopping and it didn't work,
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
big deal, whatever, it
Big
crashed
deal.
for a day.
Exactly.
Like, this is critical. And so there's been a lot of that. And I think the good thing was, that yes, we didn't move as fast as I would like, but I think what we have done in the last couple of years is we've built incredible relationships with the industry. I mean, whether it's health system chief execs, like top medical device company chief execs, like, I've got them all on text and WhatsApp. Like, we trust each other. They
Yeah.
trust me. They understand, like, my heart and our heart is in the right place. And we just have to work through it.
You know, this thing about patience, I'm a bit like you. I'm impatient and I want things done yesterday. But as we age, I begin to appreciate that there's a time and a place for things and that
Yeah.
things are done in the way they're meant to. They unfold as they're meant to unfold. And so I've kind of taken a step back from wanting everything yesterday and,
Yes.
just accepting that it is what it is.
And look, we could have, what the last time we raised money was 3+ years ago, right? And we could have done the typical raise money, spend it fast, do that.
Yep. And
But
keep
actually,
raising. Yeah.
we and just keep raising and raising. But we took a very thoughtful decision at the time, which is, let's just take our time. Let's drive really, like, fiduciary responsibility here. Let's be thoughtful about how we, deploy capital. Let's build proof points and then unlock more, build proof points, and then, like, really try and just do that in a more systematic way,
Hmm.
which is
Hmm.
atypical in like fast growing companies. But I think that was the best thing we did because we weathered all the market ups and downs. We were able then to quite quickly flex up and down as we needed. Usually for us, it's been like flexing up, but we've been slowly flexing up. We were about 70 people at that raise, went up slowly to 80. So I think that's been a really good decision that we made. And that's why it's positioned us well today as a market leader, sitting on quite a lot of capital, like, don't have to raise. That means we can do a lot now. We can accelerate with with the technology now becoming so available. This is where you can do quite a bit more. And
Yeah. You can speed up if you need to now. Yeah.
yes, and I know I'm sure other businesses you're talking to are going through this interesting process as well, where yes, you're looking about the products you're building for the market, but you're also thinking about what can you do in-house where efficiency gains can be made.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
where does AI help with coding or with sales or go to market or back office or RCM or so we've actually built our own in-house, like, Tiger team for efficiency, and
Hmm.
they business partner with our different subunits in the business, and their job is purely internal. How can I help you automate more processes? How can I help you reduce the need for another headcount? How can I help you accelerate the output or the efficiency of your existing team? So it's never about, and it's never ever been about reducing headcount at all.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
about how can we,
It's
do more
efficiency.
with what we
It's
have.
efficiency. Yeah, of
Do
course.
more with
Of
what we
course.
have.
So I want to take a step back and I want to ask you if you could do another profession other than the one you're so passionate about, what would you pick?
Oh my
Think
God.
outside the box. What did you want to be when you were 5?
Problem is I've always wanted to be a doctor, but let me think. I mean, maybe one, but this is cheating, and then I think no, I do love, I mean, obviously I'm working in it, but I do love the ancillary players that come in and fold into healthcare. So
Like who?
I love
Like what?
the investment world of like how you catalyze the
Mhm.
deployment of capital that changes how we deliver care. So whether that's deployment of capital into devices, into software, into healthcare, infrastructure.
Yeah.
I like that concept, and I think because I sit on with all the different hats I wear, uh, looking at where capital can have its biggest ROI, biggest bang for its buck,
Yes.
and how can make the biggest impact, I quite like that,
That's
and like looking
exciting.
at the
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. It's problem solving in a different way for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still in the field, but it's coming at it from a business side. And then I really quite have been enjoying spending time with the strategics, the big med device companies, like understanding how they run their businesses. How do they choose what product to back? How do they invest in R&D in those products? What is the business go to market of like I
Mm,
think those
mm.
two sides that are kind of in healthcare, but you could argue are on the business
Interesting.
side as well. I quite like, but it's still it all has to be around impact and legacy. Like you remember from my first interview, so it all comes back to that voice of my grandmother in my
Of
head.
course. Of
What's your
course.
impact? And I think these things around it have that impact.
Yeah, and I think we all, as we age as well, want to leave a mark in some way.
Yes.
And you were lucky enough that you had a vocation that made you do that from a young age, and now you're finding another way to translate it as well, which is exciting. It's
I even get
exciting.
to, I mean, I've been very fortunate. I get to spend quite a bit of time with government here,
Hmm.
um, helping shape their thinking sometimes around policy, around investment decisions that they want to make at a national level. And I find that actually quite stimulating as well. Like,
Yeah,
how does one think about something at a national level or even international level
and
that
long
can change
term. I mean,
and
it's
long
not for
term?
tomorrow morning. You're thinking about the next 5 generations, right? Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Tayyip, we're going to finish up with my lightning round.
Oh dear.
And I'm going to just throw a couple of things at you. Don't overthink it, just answer.
Sure.
Favorite activity?
And I do love exercising. I've been doing Pilates and weightlifting.
Hmm. And you're doing Pilates in a class with other people or
I just do
alone or?
reformer, yeah. I quite like those. It's like the SNL skit. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where they have the Pilates with the music and the lights. Like I quite like that. It's quite fun
And then weights on your own in a gym or
with
at
a
home?
PT, with a
Oh,
PT
with a
at the gym.
PT. Okay, okay.
It's very important, by the way, as my doctor's session message to your listeners. Very important in longevity, weightlifting, obviously controlled with someone. Very important. Muscle mass, very important.
Okay. Least favorite activity?
I mean, I'm not a big shopper. I don't really like shopping. It's sort of a torture for me.
I'm
I do
like
it.
you. I can't stand it.
No.
I like online shopping now because it's so convenient.
Yeah, anything convenient. I just find it like, thank God I have a twin sister who is really good at it, and we're the same size and same everything.
She does doubles up
She
for
does it
you.
for me, basically. Thank you,
I
Naha.
like that. I like that. I like that. Okay, I'm going to begin a sentence and I want you to end it. I have a hard time.
Saying no.
Huh, interesting. And is that only work related?
No, everything.
Everything.
My husband's like, why do you keep like, I just love helping people. I absolutely love it. And, whether people text me at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 in the, like whatever, I'm always there. And it really fills my cup. It really, really does. I feel like that's purpose.
That's your yeah,
But
yeah, that's your purpose.
But at the same time, I always take on way too much and don't wanna say no because I don't wanna upset anyone.
But then something has to give. I guess,
Yes.
socially you're probably a bit quiet. You're home in the evenings. You can't manage all this, right?
Correct. I mean, we're quite active socially as well,
Oh,
but,
you are? Okay. So
um,
you're someone that doesn't require a lot of sleep, maybe. That's the difference.
yeah, which is why I'm wearing an Aura ring now because
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
sort of track my
You
sleep.
need to
No,
check
I
it,
think
yeah.
I think I get because I mean, I did these personality tests, right? I'm a lifelong learner. I have a lot of empathy and humility were like my top 3 ratings on numerous tests. And that can be a double-edged sword because on the plus side, it's great, right? You want to learn, you want to help, you want others. But on the flip side, it means you're always wanting to help. You always
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. And you're always on. And
You're
you're
always
always
on.
on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm so stimulated. I mean, I go to meetings sometimes, like I'll go to conferences sometimes, not because I'm selling anything. I'm literally just there because I want to learn.
You want to see,
Like
you want to hear
I
and
go, like
see.
I'll go to Milken or I'll go to Europe
Yeah.
100 or I'll go to Founders Forum, like incredible meetings. And I'm just there because I just want to absorb. And I walk away so stimulated. But
Yeah.
when you're juggling all these things, you're like, what's going to give?
So how do you relax? I remember the year we did our interview, we did it in the summer, and you said, I'm unplugging for like 3 weeks from everything. Do you do that? Every summer you're still doing that?
Every summer, 2 weeks, unplug, south of France.
That's your sanity, right?
That is my sanity.
But 2 weeks a year is not a lot, Nadine.
No, the weekend. So for me, it has to be distributed. You can't like just wait till the 2 weeks. So I'm pretty good. Like pretty much on Friday evening, after all my calls in the US are done, laptop is off, and I will not open it again till Monday morning.
But you're still on your phone, or you're not?
Yeah, but it's more like friends going to the gym, spending time with the kids, the
Yep, yep.
homework,
Easy stuff, fun
birthday
stuff.
parties. It's just fun stuff, and I do that consistently unless I'm traveling.
Hmm.
But that's a consistency, and that refills the battery, and then we start again.
Good, good. I mean, because you can't just keep
No,
going
no.
on autopilot like that. Okay.
No, no, of course. And I don't want people to walk away thinking, "Oh my God, I have to work like 200 hour." Like, absolutely not. Like, you have to slow
I
down.
also think that people accept, if they know that that's your system, then they respect it and they don't bother, they don't bother you.
Yeah, I have friends who've tried for a long time to tell me stop, slow down, then they've given up.
Yeah.
I definitely, it's always great. I always welcome people looking out for me for sure. But alhamdulillah, look, it's also about the support network you have around you. I've been so fortunate in my life to have like incredible parents. I have 3 amazing sisters who are always there for me. And like a moment's drop, they're there. And my husband has been my number 1 champion.
What does your husband do, Nadine? I never asked you. What's his work?
He's in finance and he runs a family office now, but worked in the city, ran trading desks for many, many years. We've been married for, 23 years. And
So his job is very stressful as well.
It is.
Yeah.
But we're like a great team. I mean, alhamdulillah, this is a blessing to
It is
have
a
someone
blessing.
who is from day one, like
Your
from when we were
champion.
married and I was in med school, I was having kids at med school. Like he has always been my number 1 champion.
Yeah.
He's always there when I need to talk through a difficult
You can't do it
problem.
otherwise. It's impossible.
No.
It's
No.
impossible.
So it's very easy for me to take all the credit, but honestly, it's the team I've built around me. It's my family.
I also think going into this next phase, I mean, we're in a similar situation where your kids are older. Obviously, you have a
Yes.
small one still, but it makes it so much easier that the day-to-day of the big family, those issues aren't there anymore. I mean, I think
Yes.
it frees you up in a way that's incredible.
And they're curious. Like, I sit with my son and my daughter, like they want to understand more and learn more. I was with my son a couple weeks ago and we were on a walk and he's like, so talk to me about a cap table. Like, how does it work? How did you pick your investors? Like, it's great to be able to have
Yeah,
those conversations because they lived
absolutely.
through it all. I mean, when I started my company, he was like 11,
Yeah.
12, and
Yeah.
now he's an adult.
So last question. I get joy from?
Seeing the smile on someone's face that was able to help change their life. And it could be something really simple.
Yeah.
Literally
That's what
the
it's all
simplest
about.
thing. Yeah.
That's the foundation of everything you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Nadine. This was amazing. Nice and
Thank you.
quick. And you are so efficient in your way of being and everything. You've got it all succinct in a package. So it's great.
I'm so proud of, I obviously watch and listen and
You're
track
so
a lot of
cute.
what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
It's amazing.
We'll continue this segment next month with more of the show's alumni guests, including Chef Bobby Chinn, film producer Mo Hefzy, and many others. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Malak Fuad, and this episode was produced by Chirag Desai. I'll be back next week with a new guest from the world of finance, co-founder of M&T Hala and Munir Nakhla. I hope you can join me then.